Hey everyone, this is a review of DeWalt's new cordless FlexVolt compressor. It's got a 2.5 gallon capacity. It's model DCC2560. It comes in a kit right now with their fast charger and one 6 amp hour FlexVolt battery. Just a few more stats. This is a 135 PSI compressor. The tank does usually cut off at 150 though, and it is rated for 79 decibels. It's not terribly loud. When you get in a garage or something, it's a little bit loud, but it's bearable without hearing protection. When you're outside, it's not an issue at all. So let's take a closer look at some of the features, and then I'll show it in action. All right, so up front here, we've got a nice grab handle that's really easy to carry with. You've got a on-off switch that's rubberized, got a rubberized clear boot around it for weatherproofing, and it's got a protector on the top, so you're not going to bump it on or off accidentally. You've really got to be intentional to switch it on or off. You've got your pressure regulator for the tank right here, the pressure readout for the tank, and then your regulator is just a dial that you turn to your desired pressure. You don't have to turn a knob and then wait for another pressure dial to get to the right spot. You just set it and you can hear it bleed off and it does its thing. It comes with a 1/4 inch quick disconnect over here on the side installed. And if you look closely here, you can see that it's threaded. You can replace this if you really want to. I did turn this on, put it up to full pressure and leave it overnight, and then I turned it off. I came back 2 days later and it was down to about 30 PSI from the 150 it stops on normally. So it doesn't hold pressure indefinitely, but while I've been working with it, I haven't had any major leaks. I can't hear any hisses, and I can't see this pressure dial going down. All right, for the back, the battery sits right here on top. It's really easy to get in and out and replace. It is protected by this roll cage that goes, down around the whole base. The roll cage has rubber stoppers on it that really damp out any vibrations so you don't get the compressor walking on you. Down here at the bottom, you also have a drain valve. It's really easy to bleed off the tank at the end of the day. One note, if you do tilt this backwards on its side, it will ding the tank. It sticks out past the roll cage right here at the bottom. But that's really one of the few spots that sticks out. It might stick out a little bit on two of the sides as well. I really like how the regulator and the pressure gauge are protected with this bump out. I've had other compressors that it just kind of sticks out there, and it's really easy to get bumped, and you don't want to be bumping your manifold, and you could cause something to misalign, cause a leak or something like that. So it is well protected here. Just a few more data points. While I was using this with a brad nailer, I set it at 70 PSI, running 2-inch nails, and I got 40 nails sunk before it cycled on. The 41st was a little bit proud because I was going really fast and just bump firing one after the other, and this didn't cycle on in time to get the pressure back up for that one. When I was running it at 90 PSI for the same brad nailer, I got 26 shots before it cycled on. And each time it cycles on and I stop working and let it sit, it's about 30 seconds to recover. Starting from an empty tank, it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds to fill up. All right, so let's take this thing out and I'll show you some footage of me using it on the fence this weekend. Alright, runtime. I did not test for brad nails, but DeWalt's claimed capacity is 1220 brad nails with a 6 amp hour battery. That's 18 gauge brads. And I tested it out with a framing nailer working on my fence this weekend, and I did 3-hole 8-foot panels with it. I put up the rails with 3-inch nails at 115 PSI. That was probably 36 to 40 nails. And then I filled in the slats, so that's 16 slats per 8-foot section, and then 6 nails per slat. That comes out to around 150 2-inch nails that I ran in at 90 PSI. So that's quite a bit of work for a framing nailer. It's not really meant to be used with that. And this was running pretty much constantly when I was doing that. And it would catch up when I had to stop and refill my nail gun or go grab some more nails, it would generally catch up enough that I didn't have to wait on it. I actually never outran it the whole time I was working. I was going at a pretty good pace, but I know a lot of you pros out there would probably be able to outwork me pretty easily, and you could probably outrun this with a framing nailer if you really gave it a run for its money. So one last note, I was, in all my testing, using a 100-foot air hose because that's what I had lying around. So you might have a little bit of a difference between how many shots you get out of it before it cycles because of that extra air volume. If you're using a shorter hose, you have a little bit less air volume in the hose. All right, so let's talk price point. This thing is $300 for the one battery kit with a 6 amp hour battery, their fast charger, and the compressor. I thought that was surprisingly low since some of their other kits, you know, the 7 1/4 inch circular saw also retails for the same price with one battery, and that circular saw by itself is $180. So if you compare the break in price point you get from taking out the battery and the charger, we could see this bare tool $180 to $200, which I think is a great deal. That's right around the same price that Rigid's 1 gallon cordless compressor that they released earlier this year is going for. And that's a 1 gallon compressor, and I think it's a 1 CFM instead of 1.2 CFM like this one is at 90 PSI. So applications I can see this excelling at are, you know, punchless, just quick, short things. You know, mostly driving brad nails. It does quite a bit with one battery, and you can even do some framing in a pinch. Big advantages this has is it's cordless. It's not using gas. You know, if you're doing a lot of yard work, a lot of fence work, you're going to bring a gas-powered compressor out, but you can't use those indoors. So if you had another job where you had to go inside and do some quick work indoors with a compressor, you're out of luck if you've got a gas one, or you've got to run a really long hose. With this one, you can just take it right in and have like a 15-20 foot hose that you don't have to, you know, just lug around everywhere. So this is great for short, fast indoor projects. Even just running quite a bit of brad nailing for crown or for baseboards or quarter round. This is an excellent application. If you just want to get in, get out, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on different cordless nailers. If you've got, you know, a whole set of your pneumatic nailers that you don't want to replace, or you don't want to spend the money replacing, this is a great solution to get you air when you're in an area that doesn't have any power. And just a quick comparison, I've had this thing for about 5 years now, I think. It's their 1 gallon trim compressor. It retails for about $130 now, I think. And it is a 0.75 CFM, which is significantly less than the 1.2 CFM this one's got at 90 PSI. So for what I'm projecting is probably going to be just another $50. This is a lot more compressor, and it's cordless. If you're looking at the bare tool option, maybe 180 versus 130. If you've got some FlexVolt batteries already, that one's a no-brainer over this one. So that's all I had. Hopefully you got something out of it. I'd love to hear the uses you have planned for these. If you're going to pick one up, drop me a note in the comments section below. If you have any questions, put a question there in the comments section. And once again, don't forget to subscribe.